published 0615 est, 5 December 2017 updated 1858 est, 5 December 2017 as Jimmy Anderson resumed hostilities on the fourth day of the second test. Questions hung thick in the Adelaide air. Could he do it without the floodlights? Could he do it with an older ball? Hell, could he do it in Australia full stop? A couple of hours later, the answers were bundled up into one tidy set of bowling figures: 227,435. Anderson, remember, is 35. If HES waited too long for his first test 5-4 in Australia, then his analysis was a reminder that with age comes wisdom too. Anderson is often written off in these parts on the basis of his performances in the whitewashes of 200,607 5 wickets at 82 and 201,314 at 43. In the first of those, he came into the series on the back of just 13 tests in 3.5 years. He was still peripheral, and he knew it. In the second, he was not the only England player to go missing. Jimmy Anderson walks from the pitch at the end of Australia's second batting innings. The 35-year-old England fast bowler found his form to take his first ever 5-4 in Australia bit in 201,011. His 24 wickets at 26 played a central part in England's 3-1 win. Funnily enough, the Australians aren't so keen to talk about that one. And yet when Anderson charged in from the Cathedral end with a Kookaburra ball aged 26 overs, it's fair to say he had the definitive point to prove. The temptation after Brisbane, and not just among Australian observers, was to wonder whether match figures of 4,012,772 summed up his limitations in these conditions: tidy but unpenetrated, respected but not feared, a master on the wrong side of the hill. And when he removed Cameron Bancroft and Usman Khawaja on the fourth evening, an admittedly brilliant spell was easily ascribed to the kind of scenario Australians had feared in advance: lights on, ball new, swing in the air. Why, some of them might even wondered, did they have to play England with a pink ball at all? Perhaps we shouldn't have doubted him. After all, anyone who saw him bowl during the English summer will know he is as skillful as ever. Night watchman Nathan Lyon didn't detain Anderson for long on the fourth day, slapping him to mid-off to leave Australia 71 for 5. And it was 75 for 6 when Peter Handscomb skewed him low to Dorad Mallon in the gully. Anderson dives to try and make a catch off Mitchell Starc, but doesn't quite manage it. Anderson is congratulated by teammate James Vince after taking Peter Handscomb's wicket. Former England fast bowling coach David Saker, now in the equivalent role with his native Australia, admitted Steve Smith had been wrong not to enforce the follow-on on the third evening. In hindsight it probably was, he said. One of the reasons we decided to bat again was because we didn't think the ball was going to move around like it did. Only one captain in Test history has turned down the chance to enforce and gone on to lose a Test: South Africa's Dudley Norse against Australia at Durban in 194,950. Only Ian Botham has more Test 5-4s than Jimmy Anderson. After his second innings, 5 for 43 helped skittle Australia for 138. Botham has 27 to Anderson's 25, though from 102 tests to Anderson's 131. Sydney Barnes is third with a remarkable 24 5-wicket hauls from just 27 tests. Anderson will move into the top 5 all-time Test list in the next game at Perth if he manages 6 wickets there. He currently has 514, with West Indies legend Courtney Walsh in his sights on 519. Australia have not been bowled out at Adelaide for fewer than their 138 here since 195,455, when England skittled them for 111. Chris Woakes chipped in with the wickets of Tim Paine and Shaun Marsh to set up a race for a 5-4, but it was Anderson who breasted the tape, Mitchell Starc skying to mid-off to make it 128 for 9. Even then, it looked like a gesture too late. When Craig Overtime polished off the innings for 138, England still needed 354 to square the series, more than they have ever scored in the fourth innings to win a Test. Still, at least Anderson had been at the forefront of the suggestion that England were not here to roll over. He probably owed his team after wasting the new ball in the game's first hour after Joe Root had invited Australia to bat. But that's the thing about the best players, they learn quickly. Even at an age when most cricketers are considering their pipe and slippers, Anderson is tending to his bucket list. Anderson holds the pink Kookaburra ball aloft after completing his 5-wicket Ashes haul. Anderson helped give England a chance, and Joe Root will be pivotal to their Day 5 chances. Perhaps we shouldn't have doubted him. After all, anyone who saw him bowl during the English summer will know all his skills are still intact. In 2017 alone, his 47 Test wickets have come at 15 apiece, his lowest average in any calendar year since he first played for England in 2003. "I feel like I'm bowling as well as I ever have," he said. "My body is in as good a shape as it ever has been. People keep telling me I'm about to retire, so I want to show them I can keep going. I've still got wicket-taking balls in me, as I've shown this week. I've been here a few times and not got a 5-4, so it's nice to get that, especially considering the state of the game. I'm planning to stop any time soon." Australian bowler Nathan Lyon screams for Root's wicket, but the decision was overturned.